sir.
We are back again, people. Welcome to Loaded Mag NUFC.
Hat-trick.
Yeah, the hat-trick show. And as you can see, we are smiling because we're proud of our club tonight. We are proud of Newcastle United. This is what we wanted to see, and we're going to get into it a little bit more. We absolutely love our club. Boys, I know you're good. We've been talking for the last Sunday. How long? We're not going to get
nowhere.
All the introductions. We're going to get right into it right now. So, as we left, we heard the statement from Alexander Isak. We gave our opinion on that statement, but then we received the exclusive from Craig Hope. Newcastle now have no intentions of allowing Alexander Isak to leave in light of the bombshell statement. Clubs have pursued alternatives and would have explored the sale to Liverpool, would have, but message from the top tonight is clear. He'll be told he is staying. Ben Jiggs reported expected a firm response from Newcastle United soon. Well, boy, did we get that. The statement did come through from Newcastle United. Keith Downing was also the first journalist to report that statement also. And here it is. Apologies if you can't see it, but this is from the official website. It says, we are disappointed to have been alerted to a social media post by Alexander Isak this evening. We are clear in response that Alex remains under contract and no commitment has ever been made by the club official that Alex can leave Newcastle United this summer. We want to keep our best players, but we also understand players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. As explained to Alex and his representatives, we must always take into consideration the best interests of Newcastle United, the team and our supporters in all decisions, and we have been clear that the conditions of the sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee those conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family and will be welcome back when he is ready to rejoin his teammates. I feel proud. I feel proud today. Boys, that statement is dropped. How do you feel, Daz?
Pete, I feel we're not fucking leaving, and I feel Alexander Isak is still not fucking leaving, and he's going nowhere. Late Night Loaded, we're allowed to swear. Apologize if you're watching this back in the morning. We've been saying it now for a while. It has chopped and changed this one all summer long. The saga, we at the end of the last show saying that the saga has now been brought to a conclusion. Now we've got confirmation that it is. We focus now on the replacement for Callum Wilson, and we kick start our season, and on we go. And Alexander Isak, as I said, has to now. It won't happen before the Liverpool game, but he now has to make amends to a lot of people and slowly integrate back into the team. And it will be training first, bench warming for a while, and then getting a shot on the pitch and a chance to prove himself. Again, it may mean that there's some kind of a contract or some kind of a deal done as well behind the scenes, but we'll be made aware of when it is done. But we are, and we've got a world-class striker at Newcastle, and once he gets his head right, then let him continue where he left off.
Absolutely. Chris, how are you feeling after that statement is dropped, that response from Newcastle United in response to Alexander Isak and his representatives?
Super proud. Super proud. I always hoped
I always hoped in my heart of hearts that the club would stand firm on this. You know, we've all been through that emotional roller coaster, haven't we, boys, throughout this whole saga. First we were in shock, we were angry, then we were disappointed, then we were upset, then some people would say we were in denial. We were, you know, digging our heels in. Then we kind of almost accepted the fact that, you know, he may go, and we were all waiting for another Liverpool bid. And then obviously when this news dropped tonight, it did. I mean, we said this earlier, didn't we, that it felt like, you know, the position hadn't really changed, but it actually changed quite a bit, because it meant that Newcastle bared their teeth, and this is what we've been waiting for. And I think that tonight's action from Alexander Isak was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I think the club have decided that enough is enough now. And they've stood firm. And yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. And yeah, you know, I'm hoping this draws a line under it. It will be interesting to see, you know, to use a tennis phrase, we've hit the ball back over the net, over to Alexander Isak, and it will be interesting to see now what his next move is. We were deliberating it, weren't we, after the show we've just done, saying, you know, if Newcastle were to make a statement, what would Alexander Isak's next move be? But it's so interesting, isn't it, as you flashed up there, Pete, that so many top journalists now from across the world, you know, Fabrizio Romano, Ben Jacobs, Luke Edwards, Craig Hope, Keith Downey, they're all on it. And they're all saying that the message now is affirm that Alexander Isak is not for sale, which is exactly what we wanted to hear as Newcastle United fans. I'm interested now to know what happens next, but my overriding feeling as I go to bed this evening will be I'm just immensely proud of this club, and I love the fact that we've stood firm, and that we won't be bullied, we won't be forced into selling anyone we don't want to. We will keep our price tag. We will, not be backed into a corner, and we've stood up proud, and we are fighting. And it feels, boys, like we're nearly there. We've nearly won. We've lost a couple of battles, but we've nearly won the war. That's how it feels to me now.
Chris, you said tennis. I'm saying game, set, and match. Before we go to Pete's thoughts, let's go to the super chat from George. Thanks very much, George, for the $50 donation. He says, glad the club has shown some backbone, more than Isak has done in the whole mess.
Love that.
Away the lads.
Love that.
Absolutely. We've been crying out for this all summer, some leadership, some determination to stamp their authority on this situation. And we've got that tonight. We've got that. The club have now worked together to produce this, and I'm so proud of every single one of them who was involved in this situation to allow it to be here. We will not be just discarded or bullied or used just because we're seen as smaller than certain other clubs. We won't be bullied. We won't be allowed to be a pushover, and we've shown that tonight. We've stood our ground. And I love that about the club. This is not about money. This is not even really about the player. This is about Newcastle United, and this is about Newcastle United and how we're seen, how we're viewed, and where we want to go. We want to be considered a club where players come and play for us because they want to play for Newcastle United, and they're not just going to get an easy ride out of this club. We had that under our previous owner. They have shown tonight that this is not going to be allowed, and I'm so glad to see it. Absolutely, Isak stays. And, you know, it seems like to me, I'm getting a lot of Liverpool fans saying, oh, well, they've said, oh, if the terms of the condition or whatever it is made or matched, then he might still be able to leave. How I read that from the statement is that actually that's how it was previously. Now, that stance is no longer there. That stance has or ceased to exist. And that's because of that statement that's gone out tonight. Now, everybody that's been banging the drum for Isak, always been hard done by. He's this, he's that.
Free Isak.
Let him go. Free Isak. Yes, Free Isak. Free Isak from his fucking agent. That's what you need to do. That's where he needs to be freed.
And from
Not
himself.
from Newcastle United. He needs to be freed from his agent. That's what needs to be done. But all that nonsense, now you've heard from the club. The club have made it absolutely explicitly clear in that statement that there was no agreement to leave the club, no agreement that he could leave this summer, nothing whatsoever. So if you're just going to believe Alexander Isak and discard the club in their statement, which they have been forced to put out, by the way. Let's not forget, we talked about this earlier. Newcastle United have stayed in the background and done all their business in the background. They've been forced into this tonight by Alexander Isak, his representatives, and Liverpool Football Club. And they've made their marker clear. He was not allowed to leave. There was no agreement in place. All of what's been said is them trying to drum up or force Newcastle United in to be sold. And all you've done, and I'll say this to Alexander Isak and his representatives, all you've done tonight is piss off the owners. And you don't piss off your owners, because all they'll do is double down and triple down. And that's exactly what they've done tonight. I love it. I absolutely love it. I just want to run through some other bits, boys, because you might well have some opinions on a few of these other things. So great to see one of our co-owners, Jamie Rubin, quote tweeting the statement officially from Newcastle United, just to emphasize the importance of this statement coming directly from the owners. That's what I love to see. I loved it. On the back of that, Luke Edwards said, and let's be clear on this, he has been the one that's maintained this all the way through. Chris Daz, we were talking about this off air, and we've said the same. He says, I've said all summer, they might have let him leave if they had assigned Ekitike or Sesko. Might if Liverpool had matched the valuation, but none of those things happened. Newcastle have been steadfast all summer on this, as I've said from day one. He has maintained it all the way through. He's then gone on to say, if you're reading Newcastle's statement tonight and still think there's a chance that Alexander Isak will be joining Liverpool this summer, good luck to you. You're going to need it. I've been trying to tell you all summer what the situation was. Some of you didn't listen. Now, some people don't like Luke Edwards. Some people don't like him. Some people don't believe what he said. But you cannot deny that throughout this whole situation, going back 6 to 8 to 9 months involving Isak with Arsenal and then Liverpool, he has been absolutely bang on with this situation with Alexander Isak for the whole time. Yeah. But those things from Luke Edwards.
Sorry, Pete. Someone said that he has a particular set of skills that he's acquired over a long career. Skills that make him a nightmare for people like us. That's him quoting himself, really.
Not for people like us, people that maybe support Liverpool and certain Liverpool accounts, which he is just going back to tonight and just reminding them of some of the things that they've been saying about Luke. He's just reminding them tonight. Love it, Wolfin. I love that you put it in the 12-man chat as well as a bomber. Love it. We're back on. We're back together. The alliance is strong. The alliance
for a while.
But Chris, anything on Luke Edwards there and some of the things that he's mentioned? Because he has been right.
Yeah, no, fair play. We was talking about it off air, as you say, Pete, and saying that Luke's stance has been he's been adamant the whole summer, hasn't he? That there was two conditions: one, that Newcastle could replace Alexander Isak, and two, that Liverpool met the valuation. And considering that neither has happened, Craig Hope put something up earlier then saying that this is the straw. This is the straw that's broke Newcastle, and I do believe. Yeah, I do believe that is the case. I think this saga's gone on for so long. Everything's been a little bit uncomfortable, and that's probably understating it. And it's been a difficult summer for Newcastle United fans. It's been a difficult summer for Newcastle United as a club, the players, the staff, everybody. But the fact that Alexander Isak has seemingly had his last roll of the dice, and Newcastle have said, right, enough's enough now. Enough's enough. That's it. And that's to me, as I said before, it's just it's fantastic. It's literally it's put all that angst and anxiety and frustration and annoyance of this summer to one side, because it almost felt like a big relief. And it was not just at the fact that, obviously we're getting to keep Alexander Isak. We all know how much of a top quality player it is, but it's the fact that we're not the Newcastle United of old. If this was under Mike Ashley, Alexander Isak wouldn't be here. We'd have folded, we'd have sold them, we'd have been bullied, we'd have been pushed into a corner and just accepted it. But it's the fact that we've come out fighting and we've gone, no. The answer's no. Alexander Isak will leave when we want him to leave. He's got a 3-year contract, and there's certain conditions that need to be met, and they haven't been met, and therefore, he's not going to be sold. So yeah, I'm honestly, mate, I'm absolutely delighted. Absolutely delighted. I'm going to sleep very well this evening.
If we get any sleep, that is.
If we get any sleep.
Yeah, that could be a tricky one. Keith Downey's also reported and put out Newcastle stressing here in relation to the statement that they have been unable to find a suitable replacement, coupled by Liverpool's opening bid falling significantly below Isak's valuation. Had Newcastle managed to sign Ekitike or Sesko, in all likelihood, the club would have reluctantly sold Isak to Liverpool. Liverpool fans that are watching this need to remember that. Any one of those walked through the door, they would have worked a way to sell him on. Doesn't seem to be the case at all now. That's what they're making clear. The club have tried hard to facilitate and give Isak his wish, but they cannot leave themselves without recognised striker. Unless something out the blue comes up between now, September the 1st, it appears Isak will be staying. If and when he plays again is another story. Luke Edwards back again. This was what he put in March, by the way. He told us back in March, brace yourself for this with Isak. It will go on all summer. Okay, he did say that this would happen. He got the ballpark of the low balling bid wrong, 80 to 90 million. It was 110, still a low ball bid, but he did tell us this back in March. Jordan Cronin also says, fair to say, Alexander Isak's statement has backfired. Well done to Newcastle United, not only for their strong wording, but their speedy reply. What's the general consensus from the chat, boys? Because I can't see it right now, because I can only see the images in there. What is the feeling amongst the chat? Are people happy with this?
Yeah.
To be fair, you boys did touch on this, that it could now be that Newcastle United want more than 150 million. Could that be the case if Liverpool were even willing to come back to the table? What would you say now? Yeah, do you think this is slammed? It's dead, done.
Oh, completely, Pete. Completely. And going back to what you were saying there, like Liverpool's biggest mistake in this is for getting involved in Ekitike. Like, as I said, if we had got Ekitike over the line, Newcastle player, then there's the potential for Isak to kick up his fuss then, and we were kind of more vulnerable to for the sale, still reluctantly, but a bit more vulnerable. But we have someone in place, and so on. Just get the replacement for Wilson, but they shot themselves in the foot by going for Ekitike and then trying to get Isak on a low ball bid, and by pissing everyone off, and more especially the club over all this. And it's now bang, it's slammed shut. Like the transfer window, this one is slammed shut for any sale of Isak. No matter what else he does now, it's locked in. He's got to rejoin over after the Liverpool game, rejoin up and make amends some way. Anyway,
Chris, Are you adamant that that's it? Slam shut, done. Isak stays. Newcastle are not willing to negotiate that now after that statement tonight.
I want to say yes. Like I'm so close to being adamant, 100% yes. But as the old cliche goes, anything can happen in football. So I am reluctant to say on air that 110% Alexander Isak stays, because if you'd asked me that before all of this saga began, that's exactly what I would have said. There may still be more twists and turns in this one, but what I will say is that I am a hell of a lot more confident in the fact that Alexander Isak will be staying, because I think for the club to put out such a strongly worded statement, I think it might not look so great if we were to sell Alexander Isak now. But you know, who knows if an absolutely silly, ridiculous, stupid offer was to come in? You know, would Newcastle sell and then be laughing at the fact that Liverpool have paid, you know, a gigantic amount? When I'm talking gigantic amounts, I'm talking north of 150. You know, if it got to like 170, 180, would Newcastle look at it and go, do you know what, this is really stupid now? I'm not suggesting that's going to happen. They've already put a verbal bid of 110 in. I very much doubt that will happen. But I am reluctant to say 110% it's over. I can't physically say that until the transfer window shuts. I really can't. But as we're edging closer, it's becoming more and more unlikely. And I think I would go as far as to say, boys, I think I'm like 95% sure now that he won't be leaving. But I just refuse to go to 100 because I just don't want Liverpool to, you know, I mean, this whole transfer window has just been mental, hasn't it? The whole thing's been mental. And who knows, you know, what if, like we were discussing off air, what if a PSG come in and just went bang 150? Would that change the situation? It may very well change the situation. Yeah. So I'm not fully there, but I am pretty much nearly there. What about you, Pete? What are your thoughts after this statement?
I think Newcastle United have stuck two fingers up to Liverpool Football Club, and they've stuck two fingers up to Alexander Isak's representatives and gone, you're not going to mess us around. Give us what we want, or we get what we want, in terms of we keep the player at the club, which is what they said in the statement was the aim all along. They had no intentions of selling him this summer. That's been the main talking point all the way through. The only way you were going to get him this summer is by paying exactly what we want. And I'm of the mindset now that that might not even be enough. That might not even be enough. And it's there was an interesting point actually, and I don't know if I've clipped it, but I'll try and clip it in a second. Luke Edwards has basically said the stance has been pretty clear. Pay 150 million. If we sign two strikers this summer, one of which has to be of equal quality to Isak, and maybe we'll do this dance. If you see a way to meet those conditions, let me know. And he was saying that to another journalist in response to them. And I agree with him. That was the stance, but I'm not even sure that is the stance right now. They've pissed Newcastle United off. They've annoyed Newcastle United. There you go. Wolfie's just said it there. Don't piss off an Arab. They have long memories. You don't mess them around. We said it before. You don't mess around with Saudis. Don't mess around with PIF. They don't take it lightly. They don't just accept it. They've clearly misunderstood who they're dealing with. Just because Newcastle aren't that heritage club at the top doesn't mean that they haven't got these high standards and their expectations of managing and doing business properly. They've been undermined. They won't get away with it. It's as simple as that. Newcastle United will get what they want by September the 1st. It's either 150 million in the bank or Isak will stay at the club for another year. one or the other, lads. But I think this is absolutely confirmed. We get one or the other. No in between. There is no in between now. There was question marks before. Will there be this alternative? Will there be that alternative? Will there be another alternative? No, there won't be an alternative. It's either they get the money that their value demands, or he stays. There is no alternative in that at all.
I don't like that word piece, heritage club. I think legacy is a better word because legacy gets replaced. And we're coming.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anthony, want to go to from the chat, boys? Andrew says, do we think he'll play Monday now? Doubt it.
I'll be honest, lads. I don't see him. Look, he stays past September the 1st. I don't see him playing until after that point. And I think after Leeds, do we have an international break? I think
some kind of a break, all right. In the game.
I think there's an international break after the Leeds game, which is obviously the game after Liverpool. I'll be honest, I don't see him playing until after the window's shut. That's just kind of how I see it. So for people that think that he might be playing on Monday, for me, he's got no chance. After that, he may well play after the. Who we got after Leeds? Is it Wolves? I think we might have Wolves at home after the international break. That's probably a game that you'd maybe earmark that he'd be involved in at that point. Unless Liverpool come in and do what they've said they wouldn't do all the way along. And I don't believe they will now. I think Liverpool will know Newcastle's stance is strong. I don't think Newcastle will go and put. I don't think Liverpool will want to put or have that open dialogue again. I don't think they'll have that conversation. I don't see it. Don't see it at all.
It's done. This one is over.
Absolutely.
And someone started this. I haven't seen the comment, the tweet myself, but Naz NUFC says Ben Jacobs reports Chelsea willing to let Jackson go on loan with a 10 million loan fee. Interesting.
That's the Aston Villa were the ones that were linked to that report.
Okay.
Unai Emery apparently is really keen on working with Nicholas Jackson because he had him at Villarreal, I believe. And he was the one that brought him through. So that was it, because Villa have to make a profit over the course of the window. They can't buy him outright because that would put them in deficit, which means they could potentially get kicked out of Europe. So they have to do a loan, and it'll probably be a loan with an obligation to buy next summer. So that's not in relation to Newcastle. They put Newcastle in the report, but it's all about Villa and Nicholas Jackson.
I brought it up because all we're concentrating now is on the Wilson replacement, whether it's Wisa or someone else. Forget it, and the Isak talk. We don't have to be talking about a second striker either, because we already have Alexander Isak waiting in the wings.
I honestly thought. I actually think now that Newcastle will put whatever money they've got left in a Wilson replacement. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go and pay 50 million for a Strand Larsen or pay 45 million for Johan Wisa to get the deal done. I think that's probably what Newcastle will do now. They'll overpay, but I think they'll pay what it is to get the Wilson replacement through the door. I think that's what you'll see now. Now they've put that thing down. Karki just put Muniz. I think he's going Atalanta.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah.
I don't think they go 45 though for Wisa. Still don't think they go that high.
Maybe not. I think we what did we offer before last time?
35, I thought. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe meet in the middle with 40. They're definitely not getting 60. But yeah, they might pay a little bit more than they plan to get their striker, their Wilson replacement, because they'll know in their mind that they've got their number one striker in Isak. They've got their Isak because he ain't going.
Yeah.
So
They've got the Isak replacement in Isak. Yes.
Absolutely.
Isak 2.0.
Yeah. That, oh my God. 2.0. Hopefully his attitude's a better version than the previous version. Chris, there was a comment on there about what are your red mates saying? What's going on in your chat at the moment? Just give us a little sample of what's happening right now.
I mean, it's quieting down a little bit, but something did break. Let's have a little nose.
Just while Chris is looking, get in there, Sophie. We are all so proud of the club. Can people run up the likes, please? Let's get those likes up. Lynn's just put it in the chat as well. But right on the money. Hit those likes up. Come on, people. We've got 500 people plus in the chat. 26 minutes past midnight. Come on, run those likes up, people.
I think my red mates have gone to sleep. One of them was watching Top Table Talk earlier, and he did reply with a free Isak and a free Wisa hashtag towards me. But yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting to see where it breaks. Hang on. Where is it? Got to give the tune some credit there. That's one hell of a statement. Well, but yeah, before that, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed at all. Yeah, they've gone, particularly in the last 20 or so minutes, very quiet. And then they've changed. They've now talking about tennis. So that says it all. That says it all.
Every day in the chat, you just need to drop in there. How's the tennis? Just drop in there. Daniel has put, he fucked around and he found out. Yeah. I love that.
That could be the heading for this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think we're wrapping up, boys. I think we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
We said we come on and do 10 minutes with the statement. We're conscious that chatters have to go to bed. We have to go to bed. And who knows what tomorrow will bring as well. But thanks for...
I played poker last week. And William Smith, anyone who's a fan of poker, William Smith, he's already said this, and he's said it again, and it's perfect. He said, I said it in the last chat session. Isak played himself. You had no hands, and you went all in. That's exactly what he did tonight. He bluffed in the hope that it was going to pay off for him, and Newcastle have just gone, I'll see it, and I'll double down on it. And now Isak, it's backfired.
He had a 2 and an 8. He had a 2 and an 8.
He had nothing.
He was going up against 4 aces. Oh, no chance. Yeah. Not a chance.
Lads, we'll have to reintegrate him back into loaded as well.
We will.
It'll be a long journey for him, but we'll welcome him back eventually. But see what kind of statements come out first.
Yeah, Craig Hopes just said in relation to the piece that he wrote as well, but he's just put in his own words. The message is that NUFC's stance has hardened tonight. Isak's statement has not been well received, especially after a summer in which they've clearly explored the conditions of a sale and considered his wishes. So that's what he's put out there.
I think, someone needs to have words with them when he goes back in.
Absolutely.
My captain. Go on,
my captain. Right, boys. That's it. Chatters. You've had enough for today. See you in the next one. What are we playing out with, boys? I'm running out of options.
Let's go with our manager again. Let's give him some love. Anyhow.
That's a loaded question, isn't
it? Good night, everyone.
Take care,
see you not again tonight. Good luck.